Okay everybody, today I want to show you how to install a regular arcade push button to your claw machine. This could work for any arcade machine or vending machine where it takes a quarter you want to bypass, put in a quarter so you don't have to insert a token or credit every time. Just push a button. This is the tutorial for you. It's not really a how-to guide. I'm not an expert. It's going to be more like a how I did it guide. So now take no responsibilities if you mess up your machine trying to duplicate what I'm doing here. Try it at your own risk, do your own research. But basically, two parts and tools or arcade button. I got this from Amazon. It's about, I think it's $5.93. It's a regular button, but it also lights up. It has an LED inside. Went to Radio Shack for less than $3. Got some quick disconnects, female disconnects. This will be to connect the hookup wire that I also got at Radio Shack to the button. You just use this tool here. Just a wire stripper. You can also crimp these connectors onto the cables using this, and I'll show you how to do it in the video. But these little connectors go onto that of the button, and of course use your multimeter to make sure, find your power source, make sure everything's working, all that good geeky stuff. And last but not least, you'll need a drill depending on where you're going to mount your button. So I might put my button next to the joystick up top, so it'd be right there. So I might mount it in there, or I was thinking I'll keep the claw machine stock original so that it looks how it is, and I'll just put the button underneath here so that we know it's under there. When we play, we can press it, and in case one day I ever put this back out into the wild, or I sell it and someone else wants to put it in a store or something, they won't have a free credit button and it'll look original and all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is probably drill a hole in this corner right there. It's out of the way of everything. We're going to just steal power from the light bulbs up here. And this one over here, it works, so I'll just have it unplugged. Just testing it out, I'll show you. So hook this up, there we go. So I got power back to that door lamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to splice into these into this negative and positive power for the LED, and then those will go just like negative and positive. And then for the coin, what we're doing is taking the wires that's on this micro switch here on the coin mech. So what happens is you put a quarter in there, quarter falls through here, and then the quarter drops through here. It hits this switch, activates the micro switch, which gives the machine a credit. See, so now it's ready to go. When the claw comes back, the lights come back on. So on the button, since the LED is going to be hooked up to those lights, it'll also shut off. Once you insert a credit, the LED will go off. The game will start. When the claw returns home, the LED will come back on. So once again, we're going to put the arcade button into the claw machine so that we don't have to use quarters anymore, but the quarters will still work, it'll still be functional. Just gonna have this option to bypass it. We have to get positive and negative for a micro switch, and then positive and negative for the LEDs also. So I'm going to take for LEDs, there's our power source, and then we're just going to splice into the positive and negative that go to the micro switch for the quarter. And then to drill the hole, I'm just going to use a regular Dremel. That'll get through the wood real easy. It's wireless, cordless Dremel, so it's pretty easy. And then just to make sure I cut out the right size, since I don't have a drill bit for this button, I printed out a template off the internet for like making a control panel, so that I know exactly what size hole I need to cut out. So what I'll do is, like if I was going to put the button on a control panel, put the piece of paper up there, tape it down where I want it, and then I'll just drill out that hole. So since I'm going to keep it stock at this point, I don't think I'm going to put the button up there. I think for the first time I'll put it on the bottom. Then later down the road, if I change my mind, I'll put it up there. But so for now, we'll probably just put the little circle on the bottom, because I'll probably drill it from the bottom on up. That way all the dirt falls to the floor instead of inside the machine. Well, not so much, so put the little paper up. So there it is. That's how we're going to do it. Alright guys, so got my Dremel case out the box, got my button here, took my template, I ripped out a square where one of the circles is, because all I need to know is just need to have a template for how big a hole I need to drill for my button. So on the bottom part of the claw machine under here is where I want to put the button. Keep it out of the way. So what I did was I used 2 pieces of tape, and I taped the template paper on the bottom. And the hole I want to go for is going to be this second one here. So I'm just going to put the Dremel up to it and start drilling it out. So here we go. Now when I start using the Dremel, it's probably going to have a lot of dust, sawdust, wood particles flying everywhere, and I don't really want it to go into the inside with all this old stuff. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get a piece of paper and some tape, or maybe just a plastic bag, kind of block off this whole area, tape it down, seal it up, so that in case anything does come up, it won't go back there. So here we go. Okay, so what I ended up doing was just using the same paper that I ripped off my template button paper from. Ripped it off, used some gaffer's tape, just threw it down there along the edges, pretty much blocked for the most part what'll go back there. Won't protect everything, but it's better than nothing. It's just temporary, real quick. Hopefully not a lot of sawdust, dirt, whatever you want to call it, goes up there. So that's how you do it. Now let's take a look at the Dremel I'll be using. I already have the drill bit on there. I'll just use this. Attach the battery pack. It's a lot harder trying to do it with one hand. So there we go. We got the Dremel hooked up. Alright, so we're going to start drilling. I want to drill from the bottom on up. So here we go. Here goes nothing. Turn the machine off. And I'm going to start making my first cut into it. I'm going to try it with one hand and see how it goes. Alright, so I made a little hole. Let's see how easy my little hole went through. See where it is. Alright, so current location has the hole right there, the center. And that should be enough room. Let's hope that's enough room, alright? So let's keep going. Can't see the ground shot, so I'm just taking a guess. So I hope you guys can still see it. Alright, so here's where we're at so far with getting the hole out with the Dremel. And the battery started getting low. Wasn't really getting anywhere with it. But got through a little bit, you can see. So I just need to go through and either wait for it to finish charging or I'll just start it. Just get the big boy. That's what I should have got in the first place, really. So go ahead and we'll get the rest of it. This battery doesn't sound like it's charged enough, but we'll get it out there and finish up getting the button in there. Alright, so we got some more of the hole drilled out. Here's where we're currently at. So I'll take the Dremel and just clean it up, get it looking good. Alright, so here's what my finished hole looks like. Let's see it down there. So now I'll just take my button, turn it up, so alright, so here's what the button looks like installed. It's not wired up, it's just been put in there. So there it is underneath, hidden out of the way. So everything will still look normal. Just put your hand under, press the button when you want to credit. So I'm gonna hook it up now and then check back in when it's all wired up. Well, hold on, wait. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Alright, so there is the button. It's now inside of the coin door, hidden out of sight on the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these wires, run an extra wire to them using my hookup wire. These different crimp on quick disconnects, I'll use that. Run the wires there for the LEDs. This right here for the coin. Okay, so I got my wires cut and I'm going to need 2 negatives, 2 positive, and then I have 2 connectors on the on the button. It takes a 1/4 inch plug. On the micro switch, it takes a 3/16 connector. So what I'm going to do is I want to take this, I want to cut it off here at the edge right there. I'm going to take this wire, strip it. I'm going to strip this wire after I cut it. Take this one. Both of these wires, when they're stripped, they're going to go together and go inside of here, and I'll crimp it together. So it's 2 wires in one, so this one will be in there basically, and then on the end of that cable I'll run to the button to give power to the button. So we're going to daisy chain it off of there and just connect it. Strip in the first one, get a little bit more slack out of here. Alright, anyway, strip it. Cut that off right there. Cut this one off. Right there. Alright, it's the same thing. We're just stripping our wires. There. This last connector, slide it in. Squeeze it together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There we go. So you can now hook up take our last cable here, slide it into the connector, crimp it together. Alright, so now one of our extra cables have the connectors, and we're ready to connect it and hook it up. Alright, so I ran into a little problem. Notice when I tried to open up my bottom door, it was hitting the button. So the only solution is press the button and you can open it up the rest of the way. Okay, we got it all hooked up. Got our button installed. Got our power off the coin mech coil. It just jumped off of there. There's our positive and negative. Same thing for our coin mech. Positive and negative. Jumped off of there. And these run to our button over there. So let's plug it in, test it out, see if it works. I'll clean up these cables another time. Alright, so we're going to plug it in. Coin doors still work. Buttons working. So let's see. Press the button. The light should go out. We play our turn, and after the turn's over, the light should come back on. So here we go. And it worked. So now when the claw comes back, the light should come on. Yep. And it did. So there you go. That's how you put a button on your arcade machine. Bypass the quarter.